Welcome to the evening show. I'm your host, Tony.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are doing a late night broadcast, or I should say live stream here tonight. Yeah, so I wanted to get this one off and things, but hopefully I can be able to bring in some people here tonight. We're going to be talking about a topic that's very controversial, and I know I've covered this topic before, but we're going to be doing it again, though. We're going to be talking about Somalis being deported in 2026. What's really going on? So this is going to be the title, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, before I go to bed, I said, let me go ahead and knock this one out. I haven't done one yesterday, as you guys already know, and things. So, hope everybody had a really, really great New Year's Day and things, and put a little music on here just to kind of set the theme tonight. So if you guys are on Twitch, if you're on Rumble, Kick, as well as YouTube, I'm streaming, as well as X. I'm streaming on all these platforms this morning, so just gonna wait for some people to come into the room, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hope everybody's having a great New Year's Day and everything. So, but a lot of things are going on now that we are in the 2026 and things like that, and the big beautiful bill, everything. It looks like they have sworn in Zoran Mandami inauguration. He's the 112th mayor of New York City. Wow. Huh. Yeah, it's about right, I guess, but yeah, so therefore Mandami, or Zoran Mandami. Oh boy. Oh boy. So a lot of things are going on. They said today around the world was 40 people died, 115 injured in a fire at the Swiss Alps bar during New Year's Eve. It's really tragic. It's like 40 people, man. It's really, really so we're just talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's having a great time. So for Trump's administration, you guys have heard now. Trump's admin says is freezing child care funds to Minnesota and things. We can actually look at it. So it says here that child care payments to Minnesota has been frozen by the Trump administration. According to the HHS, the Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill, 3 actions have been taken against fraud in Minnesota. Trying to get that out in Minnesota and across the country. Investigations eliminate the cost of fraud to taxpayers could be between $250 million up to $1 billion. Wow. A federal prosecutor claimed that over half of the $18 billion federal funds for Minnesota's program stolen since 2018. This is really big. Shout out to Nick Sherrill. So he's been out there doing this thing, reporting news and stuff. CNN tried to actually interviewed him instead of broadcasting in the news. You probably know that rag CNN is a bunch of cops. I'm gonna watch them. see who's on. I got 2 people on tonight. So, coming on this morning and things. So I don't usually do early morning. I used to, though. I used to do early morning stream and things like that. You guys like my new format? I'm just rocking this one. A lot of you guys are on your mobile phones and stuff. You out there driving that truck like Omega. I get truck drivers that rock with me as well. Shout out to you guys coming on here. Before we get started with the show here, you guys see this guy here. It's one of my favorite videos though too. So why don't we do this here? I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, and we're gonna because it's one of my favorites here with this guy here. So he done effed around and found out today. So let's go ahead and play that.
Andale, I don't want to be here no more. I'm so tired of being here. This place, this is where I'm living. I'm so tired of it. Just like I want to go back. I don't want to be here no more. I just want to go back.
And I'm reading the comments on all these videos that are going viral all over social media now, like this, and I'm seeing so many people in the comments section.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorites, though, hold on for a minute. Let me just go in and re-cue that up again, though. It's more impactful that way, Hold on for a minute. You got the little captions down there, too, just in case if you guys miss what he was actually saying, Those captions come in handy, Yeah, there it is. All right, so we got that queued up here, and let's go and play it again.
Andale, I don't want to be here no more. I'm so tired of being here. This place, this is where I'm living. I'm so tired of it. Just like I want to go back. I don't want to be here no more. I just want to go back.
And I'm reading the comments on all these videos that are going viral all over social media.
So that's it's one of my favorites right here, though, but we're gonna go and get into it. Just want to show this here, and but we are going to get into it, though, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into it. So let me see what else is going on in the news. So are you guys having a great time on your New Year's Day? I know a lot of people stayed at home, and I did as well too. I don't do the New Year's Eve thing and all that stuff anymore. I used to, but it's actually quite expensive getting out there, going on the New Year's thing and all that. But it's still a thing, though. But with the younger people, as long as you guys are being safe, that's the main thing. So let's go ahead and get into it, though. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. So the title today is Somalis being deported in 2026. What's really going on? So once again, guys, welcome to Some Random Guy, the podcast where we dive into whatever random stuff is blowing up in the news, politics, culture, you name it. I'm your host, Tony, and a regular dude just trying to make sense of this crazy world, right? No fancy experts here, right? Just me, my coffee, and some thoughts, right? So let's go ahead and get it. So if you're new, just hit the subscribe button, leave a review, for that good stuff. Let's jump into it. So today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is the Somalis being deported in 2026, right? Or more accurately, a big push, right, that already started under the Trump administration to target Somali immigrants, especially in Minnesota. As we kick off 2026, this story is everywhere, right? We're talking about ICE raids, Indian protection, fraud scandals, and a whole lot of heated rhetoric. I'm going to break down for you and share what I've seen in the news and the argument on both sides, right? And it may take some time, because I'm just some random guy, For some quick background for the content, the U.S. has the largest Somali community outside of Somalia, mostly in Minnesota, right? We're talking about 80,000 to 100,000 people in the Twin City area. Many came from refugees starting in the 1990s after the civil war in Somalia blew up everything, right? A lot have become U.S. citizens, right? Like about 80%, according to the recent census data. Others have legal status, and a small number, only about 700 nationwide. Excuse me. So we're under something that's called temporary protection status, right? Or TPS. This is a program that lets people from dangerous countries to stay and work here temporarily, right? Because it's not safe to go back. And again, key word, temporary protection status, not PPS, TPS, right? TPS for Somalis was extended under Joe Biden admin all the way to March 2026. But right out the gate in late 2025, President Donald Trump announced that he was terminating it immediately for Somalis in Minnesota, calling the state a hub of fraudulent money laundering and linking it to gains and missing billions, right? He didn't hold back. At one point, calling Somali immigrants garbage and saying they should go back and fix their own country. That led to what we call ICE surging agents into Minneapolis and St. Paul starting in December 2025. Reports say they brought in about 100 extra agents to target the people with the final deportation orders, mostly Somalis, right? They've been arrested, some chaos, even cases of U.S. citizens getting mistakenly detained, right? Community leader says it's created a massive fear. People are staying home, skipping work, carrying proof of citizenship everywhere. Malls and neighborhoods that are usually blistering are actually quiet now, right? The big trigger for all this, right? A huge fraud scandal in Minnesota involving social service programs like COVID meal funds for kids and autism services. The prosecutors say hundreds of millions, maybe up to 300 million or more, were stolen. Isn't that something? A lot of people charged are Somali descendants. Republicans, including Trump and the Minnesota rep Tim Elmer, right, are pointing to that and saying it's proof of widespread abuse. Some are even calling for the denaturalization, revoking citizenship, right, for those convicted and deporting them. The admin auditing cases for potential fraud and the naturalization too. On the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, immigrant advocates, right, and local Democrats like Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, right, says this is, he's basically saying that scapegoating an entire community. Most Somalis are law-abiding citizens, this is according to the mayor, contributing doctors, businesses, owners, and even Representative Ilhan Umar, right? They argue the fraud case involving a small group, not representative of everyone, and that's painting the whole community with the same brush is unfair and divisive. Plus, Somalia is still unstable. Ongoing conflict with El Shabaab terrorists. So the deporting people there could be dangerous, right? And remember, most often deportable because they're citizens. Now, being a little rebuttal to this, you have over 75% of them that are, let's say, on the what we call like the WIC, I'm not WIC, but the SNAP benefits and so forth, and all this other type of things that they were doing, and in their community, right? We already know what there was going on with these type of feeding hungry people and all this other stuff, all these other scams that they were doing. Money going back to El Shabaab. I mean, they raised a lot of money, man. They've been really, really scamming Minneapolis, man, and St. Paul, the Twin Cities alone. And this is all under the mayor's watch. And these are the fall guys. Hopefully we can get to the big fish. That's what I really want to do, because all they're going to do with these people, as you know, they're just going to send them back, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to send them back home, which is what we all want, including Ilhan Umar. We need to get them all up on out of here. It's just not working out because they were only here temporary status anyway, because Biden extended it until March 2026, but but Trump ain't waiting around. He already took care of that. I remember when he went in there and canceled or banned the TPS, as he should. So as we head into 2026, the TPS officially ends in March unless something changed, right? But the admin's already pushing to end it sooner. Deportations are ramping up nationwide as part of Trump's bigger mass deportation plan. But Minnesota Somali community is definitely in the spotlight. They really are. My take, look, fraud is fraud, right? If people stole taxpayer money, hold them accountable, no matter where they're from, right? Revoke benefits, jail time, right? Whatever the law allows, right? These are the things, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go and keep it real. But targeting a whole ethnic group based on some bad behaviors, that feels off, right? But I don't feel necessarily off, but this is what some people are saying, that they feel off, talking about targeting the whole community, right? Because let's face it again, they all had temporary TPS status in the first place, temporary status, right? And they didn't seem to really love America very much. They're over there planting their flags, and when you hoist a flag, it means you have conquered the land. No flag should be flown but the United States. That's the only flag that should be flown, is the American flag. I always said that, But let's go ahead and go further on, though. So I'm just saying, Somalis fled war. Many have integrated, raised their families here, sweeping rhetoric and raids that soars citizens too, right? That scares citizens too. Some of them are. I'm talking about some of the people that's there. We're talking about the liberals, right? That divides us more than it solves anything. We need a smart enforcement. This is what they're saying. We need a smart enforcement. Go after criminals, secure borders, which Trump have already done this, right? They already done this. But if they're stealing money, and we don't need to change what has been going on. In their community, there's a huge fraud going on. I didn't see the good people tell on the bad people. They didn't say a word until Nick Shirley. He went out there and did his thing and put this thing right on the front page. And we're not going to move from this at all. We're going to this story here, and we got to stay on this story, no matter how much they're trying to turn it or flip it. I just want to welcome you guys to the midnight chat here and stuff. So, but yeah, we just talking about it here, the Somali thing. And I want to go ahead and show this here again, because this right here is like one of my favorites. So I love, talking about this here.
Media now like this, and I'm seeing so
much. See here. Let's see here. Where you at here? Here we go. Yeah, it's gonna be my poster boy right here. Not this guy, but the other one. Here we go. All right, there we go.
أنا معهم لأن دبي أنت لودو باسبوركي ولا قاتي وعلي ساوك جرا أنتو قفوا embassy لسؤال لكورو إلا كبغي لسؤال عند علي. I don't want to be here no more. I'm so tired of being here. This place, this is where I'm living. I'm so tired of it. Just like I want to go back. I don't want to be here no more. I just want to go back.
And I'm reading the comments.
So that's the thing about it, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of my favorites, though. But I don't get it why these guys can trash America, live in America, scam America, and they've been doing this since 2018 with this scam stuff, and up into COVID and all the rest of this stuff. So yeah, it's just one of these.
You work all fucking day, you don't got shit.
Yeah, so there that is right here, So you remember that guy right here, so he's another one. I'm not going to play much more of it because it's copyright music and things like that, but I just want to show you guys, though. Yeah, this is, let me see here. I think, yeah, guys, so you guys see the ICE agents and stuff as they study advancing, it's just a damn shame that these people, and I'm not saying every last one of the Somali people are criminals, man. I shouldn't even have to say that. We're talking about people that are the criminals that happen to be Somali, and it ain't just them. It's other big fish. And I do, in my personal opinion, I believe that it goes all the way up to the governor, like many of you as well, too. Talking about 10 pound, 10 watts, it goes higher up. I think it actually go higher than him. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is what's going on here. Let me see. I'm going to play this a little bit more here. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, and the way it looks now, ladies and gentlemen, since 2026, they're ramping up. I think it's 10,000 brand new ICE agents. Oh, my goodness. 10,000 new ICE agents ready to rock and roll, man. Let's lock and load, Yep. 10,000 new ICE agents ready to hit the streets, and they ain't messing around. I just wanted to let you guys look at this a little bit with this video and stuff. I don't know what type of music is being played or whatever. I'm just kind of skipping through it a little bit here. You see this pepper spray rifle? Yeah, man. Yeah, this is
Oh, I see, with the little fluff? Yeah, with the pin. Okay, he's a bitch.
They got the cell phones out, right? Look at this here.
You guys get out of here. You guys get out of here. You guys go home, man.
You see a woman taken to the ground, pinned face down in the snow.
Yeah, she's pinned face down. You see this?
Tasers are deployed. Tear gas follows as the crowd presses in. Protesters throw snowballs, and people downplay that. But in an already volatile scene, that's escalation, not peaceful protest. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian...
You hear that, though, guys? Yeah, this is not peaceful protest at all, man. I mean, this is what's going on right now. It's not a peaceful protest. You can't have a peaceful protest because again, the ICE agents are there to do their job. No matter how you feel about it, you can't attack law enforcement. They still are law enforcement. So whoever that's giving this advice to these people, hey, it's not a pretty thing to get arrested, get pepper sprayed, and all the rest of the stuff. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a bad thing, though. It's a bad thing. So I don't know who these people, or if they're being paid, these agitators or whoever they are, and it could so well be, because I can't necessarily see them. It's like me and myself. And let's say if I was against this, I'm not gonna fly all the way to Minneapolis when I got work. I got a job to do, man, right? And this is what most of us, man. So some of these protesters or agitators, man, they're in question too, because somebody got to get out here and make some money. Got to take care, got bills and things going on, man. These are law enforcement agents, they're out here doing their job. Now, as I said to you before, it's going to be 10,000 brand new ICE agents ready to rock and roll, lock and load, they hit the streets. So as far as I'm concerned, though, they brought it on themselves, though. And you're not even supposed to be over here illegal anyway. You're supposed to be here legally. Now, a lot of them came over here for refugee status. If I would have came over here on some refugee status, no way in the world I'm going to be out here creating a gang activity and doing all this stuff. It's just entitlement, man. They come over here and they just shit on us, man. They really do. They hate on Americans. They just shit on us, man, on our good graces, Now, they need to come to Dearborn because I'm going to cover that myself. I'm going to bring my camera equipment. I'm going to have that. I'm going to actually cover that one like I did No Kings. I'm going to be there for that when they come here to Dearborn. 10,000 brand new ICE agents. Come here to Dearborn and clean up. Let's get it done. That's what has to happen, though, because I do believe that they have Sharia law here in Dearborn, man. I'm going to let you guys know, man. Dearborn, in fact, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Hold on for a minute. Dearborn, Michigan. Hold on for a minute. Dearborn is Dearborn, Michigan. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, this is the protest that went on not too long ago. Yeah, let's see here, because I kind of covered this before.
And now to dueling demonstrations in Dearborn, words of hate leading to clashes and drawing a response from the city's mayor.
Late this afternoon, police telling 7 News Detroit that they had to arrest 3 people for disorderly conduct.
As you can imagine, residents and business owners were stunned by the anti-Islam rhetoric Tuesday evening that spilled into City Hall.
Today, 7 News Detroit reporter Tierra Braddock caught up with residents who say hate has no home in their community.
Things are calm here in Dearborn right now, but that wasn't the case on Tuesday as tensions flared between anti-Islam protesters and Dearborn residents.
We live in peace. We love everyone. This is Dearborn. This is for everyone.
Dearborn resident Abbas Abu Kador faced off with a protester who was spewing anti-Islam rhetoric.
This is why Dearborn, Michigan needs to be cleared out of Muslims.
In this video, you can see Kador step in to stop the protester from burning the Quran.
Even if they want to burn the Bible or any books, I will protect it. I do the same things.
And before this incident, another Dearborn resident named Mohammed Alamara says he met protesters with kindness.
I love you, man. You're my brother. You're my brother. We share this country, man.
I just think a lot of people have a misconception of what's going on over here. And, when they came here, I was like, this is a great opportunity to show them, everybody's here coexisting.
During Tuesday night's Dearborn City Council meeting, Mayor Abdullah Hamoud mentioned Alamara's kind actions while addressing the protest.
Saw one resident, a local barber, on his story. He shouted back that no matter what you tell me, I want you to know I still love you as my brother. He bought a case of water to start passing out to everybody marching by. And he told them that I hope the ignorance that has encapsulated your heart shatters one day. That is Dearborn. A place where neighbors show up for one another, where hurt is met with compassion, where hate is rooted out by dignity, by decency, and by our shared humanity.
Meanwhile, for Muhammad Alimara, he says Dearborn is open to everyone.
I would say for the most part, the people of Dearborn, we've coexisted with white people, black people, Hispanics, Asians of all sorts, you know. We haven't had an issue, you know.
In Dearborn.
Yeah, let me put a pause here a little bit. They have a few mosques in Dearborn, right? So the thing about it is that there's a thing called the Fajr prayer. That's the first prayer because they pray 5 times a day. No big deal. The problem is that when they do their morning prayer, the Fajr prayer, and they do it which is the Ezan, right? They call the prayer. So they have it blared on the speakers loud. So you still have people there that are not, let's say, they're not like Muslim, right? Non-Muslims that still live in Dearborn, even though 55% are Middle Eastern people that live in Dearborn. And they are the largest community here in Detroit area, which is Dearborn. So this creates a problem, you know. It's just not a way because, again, if you look at it, you look at UK, I think they're like 35%. If you look at Birmingham, London, it's about 35% of Middle Eastern people. Now, I know some people that are Middle Eastern that don't blast and don't do that, but in that community, that's what they're doing, you know what I'm saying, which is causing a problem and things like that. So that's what it's all about. But let me see here. Ice World says it's like their church bells. You're ignorant, bro. What am I ignorant about? It's like their church bells, man. What are you talking about? You know, the church bells, right? You know, and that's the thing about it. Well, why don't we come up here, man? Why don't you mic up? I can drop the mic down. We can have a conversation. Hold on for a minute. Let me go ahead and mic up. I want you to stand on that, man. Hold on for a minute. I love debates. I love debates, though. There's the link right there. Come on up. Come up right here. Come on up here. Trevor, or whatever your name is. Come on up here. We can have a conversation. I put the conversation up. Now, my rules is simply this. You can't insult me because I didn't just get you booted on out of here. I just go on and block you. So I put the link out here. So you want to have a conversation? You want to debate this? Let's go. Put the link up. Come on, bro. Come on now. The call to prayer, man. Come on, get on the mic. Get up there. I put the link up. If you want to have a conversation with me, I just put the link up. You know what link? Don't play dumb. You know what the link is. Go on and click the link and come up here and have a conversation with me. And stop being chicken. Come on now. Yeah, come on up here. Whatever happened to reporting disturbance of the peace? Now, I put the link down, but you know, you have a difference of opinion or whatever like that. But you know, and like I said, 55% of them in this community, you still got people that are non-Muslim that's over there, you know, and it's early in the morning. The Fajr prayer, the first prayer in the morning, right? 5 a.m. in the morning. Even if you hear the church bells, 5 a.m. in the morning, now you know that don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You'll be to hear that type of stuff. I'm just saying to you, why you want to be these keyboard warriors? I put the link down. Hit the link. Come up here and talk to me. That's all I'm asking you to do. You know, hit the link and come up here and let's have a real conversation. That's all I want you to do. You coming in the chat and everything, hot, like with 2 guns blazing. Come on, I put the link up there. And then for everyone else too that's on Twitch and X and so forth, I'm on there as well too. Rumble, I'm on here as well too. You know, But, all you got to do is click the link and come on up here and we can have a conversation instead of doing the keyboard stuff. Until that time, let's go ahead and still play this, and then let me show what else happened.
Tierra Braddock, 7 News, Detroit.
What a wonderful message to be left with. Thank you.
Hold on for a minute. That's just one. I got some other ones though too. Let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and put the other ones up over here though too. All right, let me see here. Protesters call a prayer. I know who the mayor is and so forth. Yeah, it's a hotbed though, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hotbed. Yep. It is something else. Boy, I tell you, man, Yep. This is, like I said, ICE agents are coming though. 10,000 new agents though, they're going to be coming and things like that. So, these are paid agitators though, man. Yep. This is, I believe that, this is what this is all about. I'm all for people and their religion though, man, you know what I'm saying? But you also got to respect the laws of the land, man, and being respectful of other people's beliefs and stuff like that, because this ain't the Middle East, you know what I'm saying? And I stand on that. This ain't Saudi Arabia or anything like that. When people in the old school days that were from other countries, they came over here and they learned how to assimilate. This is America. It's a Judeo-Christian society. It always have been and it always will. So, so therefore, you got to follow the law of the land here in America. That's what I'm saying, and that's what a lot of people are saying. You can have and practice your religion, but you don't need to have the Ezon blaring early in the morning, especially at 5 a.m. in the morning. You don't need to be doing that. They got an app that they can download on their phone, on the cell phone. And when it does the call to prayer, it lets them know. I know about that app because they all have it. They all have this app, So that's the thing about it, though. You're not in the Middle East. This is not Lebanon. This is not Saudi Arabia. This is not Yemen, right? This is not Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and keep it real now. So all we're saying is that people should be a little bit more mindful and being more respectable, or just show some respect, you coming over here as a guest and now you're a citizen, because one thing about it though, the Christians, the Chaldeans, they got their communities and they're not doing nothing out of the ordinary though. They go to church and do all this other stuff. They got mosque over here. That's cool. That's fine. But you don't need to be blasting the call to prayer. That's what we're saying. And it's not going to happen. The Sharia law and all that, you're not going to do that here. It's just not going to happen. Now, you can get on here and chat and be a keyboard warrior all you want. But as it is, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is ICE, because look what ended up happening. Y'all remember that they had the terrorists and stuff like that they apprehended, and they were over here in Dearborn. They were able to hide amongst their brethren, and they were going to do some malicious, I'm talking about some destructive terrorist type stuff. And it was going to go down, but Cash Patel and the FBI have been following them. They've been monitoring them. And hopefully we can have, their reputation being restored with the DOJ, the FBI, and all the rest of them, man, and Homeland Security. They were on it. They captured these people. Big old raid over there in Dearborn a couple of months ago. And shout out to Cash Patel and them that are doing an excellent job. Shout out to Cash Patel, man. He's doing an excellent job. Him and the other people, the diligent people that are working around the clock, you know. So that's what I'm saying, though. You know, we don't need this. We didn't have these problems before. You know, you come over here and be a citizen, you have to follow the rules. That's all we're asking. No one said to give up your religion, but if you're going to come over here, you can practice your religion. Just don't be intrusive and being disrespectful for other people, especially because there's a lot of non-Muslims. And we know what in far as with Islam and being a Muslim, though, if you're a non-Muslim, they consider the non-Muslim infidel, right? Right? This is exactly what they consider and what they are. Christians and Muslims never really lived in peace. Now, we can live in peace, but like I said before, you know, this is one of the things, man, you're wasting your time, man. Do you want me, if you ain't going to come up here, man, I'm just going to have to get you on out of here, man. Okay, let me see here. Before I do, let me read what you have to say first. Hold on for a minute. I stepped away from my mic here a little bit. Hold on for a minute. I want to read what you had to say first before we, because I wanted you to come up here, man. I really did. I really wanted you to come up on the mic because I want to have a conversation with you because you said some things, man, that, you know, it kind of offended me, to be really honest. Give me 1 minute. I got to use the restroom real quick. Hold on for a minute. Gotta use the restroom. All right. Okay, now I'm back. Okay. All right. All right, let's see here. Hey, Howard, how you doing, man? Yeah, Howard, I'm over here doing the late night thing, man. This ain't my regular time slot, as you know. But yeah, Howard, good to see you again. And things, you know, I'm doing another live, as you can see, talking about I did one on Somalia. Now we're talking about Dearborn. 10,000 new ICE agents are going to be hitting the streets. You know, 2026, they'll be rocking and rolling. You know, so there's no reason that Christians and Muslims can't live amongst each other. But there's going to be, this is a new administration, and they're not tolerating it. You know, not at all. You're going to be mindful. You're going to be respectable. You know, because once again, this is not Saudi Arabia. And now that they're all being watched, you know, they're all being monitored, right? They're all being watched. You know, exactly, right? Howard said, good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they're being monitored and watched. As we said before, the plan was spoiled. It was foiled when they had the ICE agents and stuff like, I mean, not ICE agents, but the FBI. They came over here to Dearborn, right? Now, I'm not that far from Dearborn, so all this stuff went down, you know, so they brought it up on themselves. That's all I'm saying. There was a guy, and I wanted to bring it up. Hold on for a minute. I think I could bring up the video feed. And he wasn't cussing them at all. Him at Dearborn, Michigan. It was at the town hall meeting. Let me see here. Town hall. Let me see here. Yeah, the mayor was there and everything. And let me see here. Let me see, where's that guy at? He's not that dude. It's another dude though too, because they even put a sign up, man. Some sympathizer to, you know, they even changed the name of the street though. You know, we can't be changing the name of the streets with some Arab police and all. You can't. I mean, I'm sorry, police, but an Arab, whoever their leader is or whoever, you know, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Let me see, not this guy here. It's another one. Let me see. Is it him? No, hold on for a minute. It was another one here, and he was cool. He was a nice guy, you know. It was a town hall meeting. This the one, September. I think this is the one here. Let's take a look at it.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
These comments from the Muslim mayor of Dearborn, Michigan to a resident at a city council meeting made news. The resident had committed the offense of expressing concern over a street being named after Osama Siblani.
My concern is he's a promoter of
that's what they wanted. That's what
Hezbollah and Hamas.
The best suggestion I have for you is to not drive on Warren Avenue or to close your eyes while you're doing it.
Thank you.
Also say that I'm an apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you've dropped. So if I were you, I sit silently.
Okay.
So perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised that Dearborn has drawn the attention of people like this guy, who came in and dropped a grenade at the city council meeting.
You guys got to keep it down. Okay?
In 1900, the world was 30% white. Fast forward 125 years, we are down to 7%. The Islamification of Europe is particularly aimed at the destruction of white people. The Islamification of America is aiming to meet the same goal. Our people, white Christian, European, Western civilization, we built the arts. We built the Colosseum. We have ran the world into the industrial age. And now this people here, the Muslim community, is looking to drag us back. They're looking to oppress women, oppress homosexuals. They're looking to destroy everything that makes America great. President Trump, send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country to destroy our way of life. We know exactly your laws in your book about lying to our faces, pretending to be Americans, wearing your suits. But that doesn't happen anywhere else where you guys are in charge. There are 53 Muslim majority countries, and in all of them, it is tyranny, destruction. It is shithole living. We have to call it what it is. You guys don't live like we do. We don't want you in our country. We will come and eat your shawarma in Somalia, okay? We don't need it here in Michigan. We don't need it in any part of America. We have a right to self-determination. Our founding fathers fought and died for our posterity, for white Americans.
I'm just going to say this though too. With the Constitution and freedom of speech, I can tell you right now that in the Middle East with Muslims, though, they have issues with the Constitution for some of them. I just got to go ahead on and put it on out there because, as we can see here, because we have law of the land. We have 27 of the amendments, right? And the one with the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, these are the things that we actually have. It's called freedoms. You know what I'm saying, that we actually have for all of the people of the United States, not for some. See, in their countries, they're going to have, because they're on the Sharia law and all this other kind of stuff. See, their stuff don't work with what's going on over here. It's not conducive to the Constitution. Islam and the Constitution is not, they don't gel together. Not very much, unless they just don't gel together. And we can see that we are having clashes and problems and disrespecting the people that have been here way before them ever coming here. If we just don't gel with it. Once you go back over into your country, if you want to do the Islamic thing and Sharia law, it makes more sense just to do it in your country. Because Lebanon need them right now. Lebanon is they got overran by terrorists over there. They got Hezbollah over there, man. You have to go ahead and get that taken care of, man. People need you. Instead of trying to Islamify over here, you should go there where it all began. You see what I'm saying? That's my logic to it. It just don't make any sense. That's what I would say, though, if I was at the town hall meeting. Wouldn't it make more sense? Because you're trying to change, and all you're doing is pissing native people. You're pissing the people off here. That's why this guy is ragingly upset, man. And this sentiment is starting to happen more so. Remember, there's still more whites that outnumber you guys. And these are gun holders, too. You're not going to win on this thing, though, at all. They're not going to win. I'm just saying, though, because you're pissing people off. We don't have any problems with anybody else, they come over here. They assimilate into society very well. But for some reason, these particular group of people do not. Let me see here. Wendy says, exactly, they have left their own behind when they need them the most. Yeah, you're right, Wendy. I'm going to go and post that up there, too. I'm going to go and pin that up. That's exactly what she's saying right here. Because your country needs you. Why are you trying to come over here and trying to change things, though? Because it's very abrasive here. You got Lebanon that needs you. Iraq needs you in your country. Bill over there. Therefore, you can have the Ezan going on and call the prayer, because that's an Islamic country. You can have Sharia. You got Sharia law over there. We don't need it over here. We don't want it. We're respectable for people in their religion, but we don't want to have the Islamic thing. You got to wear the hijab and all. No, we're not in the community. This is America. We have a thing called freedom here. Freedom, right? Liberty in the pursuit of happiness. That's exactly what it is. Do we need to have to go into their religion? Because we know Muhammad didn't do everything. I mean, this guy raided villages. If he didn't hear that Ezan going on, he would come in there, raid, steal, rape the women, and all the rest of it. This is a known fact. They said, peace with the Muslim brethrens, kill the infidels. Anybody that's a non-Muslim, and that's what they did. 1,400 years that has been around. That's what they did. Rape, pillage, and so forth. And they just got to go into it now. I'm just saying for what it really is. So don't tell me about this religion of peace, because and that's for the rest of them. I'm just calling it out for what it really is. I'm just calling it out for what it really is. Now we can debate this, because we know that's what ended up happening, right? I'm just kind of keeping it real. Let me see what else is being said here. Yes, it's called They Want to Take Over Our Country. Let me just put that up here as well. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. You're going to be overran. Anytime somebody plants a flag, they're like in Somalia, the Somali flag. Why is the Somali flag being hoisted and waved and things like that? Why is that flag instead of the American flag? We're not Somali. This is America. Why am I seeing a Palestinian flag? This ain't Palestine. This is America, right? When they hoist a flag like that, they're saying we have conquered you. That's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Let me see here. Howard says their mission is to convert people to Islam. whenever they are at, they're not doing a very good job of it because people see, let's just go and keep it real, right? I'm just going to say, everybody got a stereotype. Their stereotype is 9/11, that didn't make them look too good. It made them look bad because people don't want to identify with them with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the terrorist thing, sign up, and if you were, I mean, they don't want to, it's really negative. It's not, because a religion of peace would not exercise such a thing, right? Bombs and destruction and all the rest of this stuff. They wouldn't do this stuff, and let's keep it real. They were the ones in Africa with slavery. The Arabs was the first ones before the Europeans when it come down to slavery. In the name of Islam, just going to keep it real, right? We're going to go there tonight. They practice slavery and still do. They never gave up the practice of slavery in the name of Islam, right? Slavery, being a slave and so forth, this is part of their part of what they believe. We're talking about slavery. It's what they believe. It's their belief system. Howard says the mission, I read that. Hestel says they want to take, Hestel says they want to take over the world. Yeah, look at what they're doing in the UK. Is that peace or is that tyranny? Can they go over there and grape, they graping, UK women are and so forth over there in the UK? And they over there getting away with it. They over here graping because this is one of the things that they do. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Because I hate to say it, but the UK has been overtaken. It's been overran. And they have people over here, man. People over there as well, too. Now, here, we ain't going to go for it here in America because somebody is going to get, what? Because there's a lot of, and I'm even including myself, I'm a Second Amendment gun right holder. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm Second Amendment. I believe in it. So therefore, yeah, we're not going to allow them to overrun this and overtake this country. We're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. No. Let's see here. Just reading it still. Got the American flag and everything. Yep, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what they want to do. Just like she's saying, they want to take over the world. This is what Estelle is saying. 313 Money says, taking gets spent. Wendy says, because that's what cowards do in my eyes. Exactly, Wendy. That's exactly what they do. Cowards do this. When you go after a woman and they have a history of raping, this is a history, So I'm not dogging on their religion, but their religion have a lot of holes in that bucket. It's not something to be proud of. For someone to want to follow that, if I was a Muslim, there's no way in the world that I'm going to be over here trying to push Sharia law in Texas and trying to get things going that doesn't go, it goes against the very fiber of America. Go take your butt back over to your country and make that great. You don't need to be over here. You're not welcome if you don't want to follow the laws and rules. It's called the Constitution. And far as we concerned, we ain't gonna never let no one take down the Constitution. Just like we won't have that flag. I would cut those damn flags down because that right there, man, it rubs people in America the wrong way. You want to have an Islamic flag, Somali flag, Palestinian flag, or do you want the American flag to be waved? Howard says they will build mosques upon. Okay, Howard said they would build mosques upon the ruins of our churches. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Howard. 313 Money says American Christianity is fake. Okay, so let's talk about it on 313 Money. Let's talk about it. So are you a Muslim? I love talking to Muslims too, though, because I'm gonna ask you some questions. 313. What religion do you follow? You know, I'm just kind of curious. I'm just curious because, as far as I'm concerned, most of the people in this country are still Christian. It's a Judeo-Christian society. You got to live with it. As far as I'm concerned, though, we had people in this country from Italian, from Polish, Irish, and so forth, English. And one thing I got to say, they have a better track record than these Muslims over here. Because like I said before, their religion, Islam, is not conducive to our Constitution or to Christianity. It's just not conducive with each other. It's just not. You don't hear no Christian say, if a non-Christian, you got to murder the infidel. We don't have stuff like that. We don't have, well, you can marry a 9-year-old and all. We don't do that. What religion condones that? Oh yeah, Prophet Muhammad, he had the 6-year-old and consummated the relationship when she was 9. We don't do that stuff here. What you know what I'm saying? We don't do that. We don't do that stuff. I don't know about that.
Oh, hell
We don't do that type of stuff, though. Sorry. No, sir. Right, let me go ahead and read. I'm going to read these a little faster. Just talking on 313 Money, you know. Okay, so let me see here. Wendy says, we can't allow this, what's that? We can't allow this minstrel to continue. It's about time, period. Wendy says 24 here always. Let me see. Is that 2? Oh yeah, 2A. I'm sorry. 2A here always. Yeah. I know that's right. Stell says they said that they want the blonde, blue-eyed white women. Oh yeah. They love the blonde, blue-eyed white women. Yeah, they loved kidnapping goes on in their country. You got to be careful over there in the Middle East, though. If I was a woman, I would never want to go and visit the Middle East. Are you kidding me? You know, and not having a man in some of those countries, boy, that is something else. Wendy says, I was raped, right? So I wouldn't put up with that. I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy. I have to put them in the wood chipper. I didn't get my justice. I know that's right. I deserve it. Okay, I didn't get my justice. I deserve. So I would have to make up for that only 12 years at that time. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy. What the? Oh, hell no. And that's what they're doing over there in the UK. They raping those girls over there. That's exactly what they're doing. Luke Skywalker, I like that. You know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, man. If you guys didn't know, I love sci-fi. Luke Skywalker said facts. Yeah, Wendy says typo mess. I know what you meant. I think I kind of put it together, though. Let me see. Ozzy says, so sorry to hear that, Wendy. Yeah, Wendy, I am sorry to hear that. I really am, though, you know, because no woman, you know, shouldn't have to go through something like that, you know. But this is still happening in the UK. You hearing about it. I'm hearing more. It was another rape that happened recently involving a 14-year-old girl. You know, she didn't deserve this, right? Okay, Wendy says, thank you. 42 now. Oh, yeah, so this happened when you were, what, 12? Did you say 12 years old when this happened? Wow, man. God, dog it. And this is somebody's daughter. This is somebody's daughter, ladies and gentlemen. We got a problem in America, just like, and I'm going to say this, if it wasn't for Trump, we would be overran. Sharia law. And if you are not a Muslim, you either have to convert or they would just, you know, unalive you. These are facts. These are facts. Everywhere they have conquered, right? They will what? They would unalive the men, take the women, convert them to Islam, be a part of the harem, right? And all the rest of it, to go right along with it. That's what conquerors do. Jesus wasn't a conqueror. He was for all man, right? He wasn't nothing like this. The stuff that what they do, it's what we call a tyrant. You know, talking about a xenophobe and an Islamophobe. I got friends that are Muslim that don't do this. I grew up with my friends, childhood friends. You know, I don't know what these people are on the East, what they into, man. But they need to go back over there, though, man. Go over there. You know, because obviously they're having trouble following the rules and knowing the law of the land. There's no excuse for this at all. And let's say this, man, the people over here, they're not going to go for that. They're not going to go for that. A lot of people have daughters and cousins and all kinds. I mean, you got a lot of women in their families and stuff like that. And the man's job is to protect the woman. That's exactly what it is, though. We're not going to put up with it. Wendy says, and it has made me a very strong very strong in touch. Okay, very strong. Okay, in touch mama, right? A tough mama. I think that's supposed to be, and a very strong and tough mama. I grew up being raised as a tomboy dude in my hood. Didn't play with me. Didn't play with me once I showed I can handle myself. Oh yeah, I know they wouldn't play. Yeah, I understand that. Luke Skywalker says, sounds like a cult. And that's exactly what it is. Because cults, they put fear, right? Tell you what you can't do. Or you better do this. You know, and this is what they would do. You either convert or die. Well, you're supposed to say that, but you know what I'm saying. Convert or be unalived, right? That's what they do. That's what they do. Let me see here. Still says, I have a question. Did the new mayor of New York has his hand on the Bible? I heard he had his hand on the Quran. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Because he won't touch the Bible. As a Muslim, you talking about Zohran Mondami. Yeah, he's supposed to be sworn in and stuff. I heard he had his hand on the Quran, you know? And see, that's another thing. You know, and I know they're working on right now, and I'm totally against people that were not born in America to be part of our political party system. I'm really against that 100%. Because we already are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, with Ilhan Umar, you had Taliba Rashid, which is here in Dearborn. She's a Palestinian congressperson here in Wayne County. Taliba Rashid. She have a lot of hatred, especially for Christians, though, you know, she hold the Palestinian people up and so forth. Yeah, I'm talking about Taliba Rashid. And who else we have? Oh, yeah, we have the guy that looked like a bad skit off of Saturday Night Live. His name is Shri Tanadar. Yeah, he's a congressman as well over here in this district in Wayne County. The one that got the bad-looking toupee, you know? Yeah, that dude. So we got people that should not be part of our political system because they are not citizens, and this is creating a problem, as you can see. You know, and we don't need that. We don't want that. You know, Wendy says, I have a demand. I have to demand my respect. All right, and I got it respectively. Yeah, Wendy, I would recommend wherever you are though, if you got some type, you need to get you, if you don't have it already, some type of CCW or CPL license to be able to carry a concealed pistol license and stuff like that. Because that's what I'm saying though, So therefore, you don't never have to be a victim ever again, because you got to be able to protect your family and loved ones and things. But I'm sorry that you had to go through that, being raped like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a bunch of BS. That's some bullshit right there. I'm trying to contain myself. Wendy says, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh yeah. I love the food there though too. I really do. And I'm a foodie. Howard says he used the Quran to swear. That's what I thought though, Howard. Yeah, Wendy, it was the Quran that he swore on. Now, this is a problem once again. Why is it? But we know with these low down Democrats, I'm not even surprised though, because these are their biggest donors, right? People that are foreigners that when allowed to come over here and do the ish that they've been allowed to do, It don't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense at all. It still says agreed 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I would get that. I would definitely get that that CPL or CCW, find out what your laws are over there. Because you should be able to get it. Because I know what Trump is saying too, to have a reciprocity with that, where just like I'm a licensed CPL, I can carry concealed, you know what I'm saying? And you can get you a nice concealed, like a CPL or CCW, carrying a concealed weapon and things like that. Therefore you can be able to protect yourself and stuff like that, especially you ladies. I mean, we all men too. Men, hey, you see the assaults and stuff that's coming up, Howard says, Wendy says, wow. She said, already, okay. Well, no, Wendy says, I got it already. Thanks. I know that's right, Wendy. Wow. Yeah, Wendy got her thing already, man. That's what's up, Wendy. I'm proud of you on that one. Howard says, New York City has a population longer than 38 states. Yeah, and I was born in Brooklyn, New York originally, though, too. I haven't visited there in a while, though, Howard. But I know in New York, though, they have a strict New York and Illinois, man, and California. Those are the worst. I'm here in Michigan, but y'all are way worse when it come down to, carrying and things like that, man. Man, y'all, yeah, it's, man. Yeah, Wendy says, these folks got to go. Yeah, I agree with you, though, Wendy. They got to go in things because they're not respecting us as people here in America. We've been very good bringing them in they war-torn countries, right? They brought them in here under the Biden administration. Look how many illegals came in this country. We have every unclean bird in this cage, right? Coming over here to America, right? Look at it. I mean, it's been said that it's over 20 mil that came in this country illegally, so this is where the problem is. Their religion will not allow them to, what's the word I like to say? What's the word I like to say with that? Everybody else, basically, when they come over here and, hey, I'm just forgetting the word though. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Because it's not conducive at all, though. They don't assimilate. There we go. They don't assimilate into our culture very well at all. Their religion will not allow them to do it. It's either Islam or nothing at all. And this is really what the crux of it really is. Let's get down to it for what it really is. This is about Islam, right? Islam does not allow them, right, to assimilate into our society. Facts right there. This is where the problem is. How in the hell can we look at what happened? We allowed the Somalis to come over here. They've been over here since 1998, or I'm sorry, what is it? Well, at any event, hold on for a minute. They've been coming over here. Hold on, I got my notes here. I'm going to use Somalis too for let me see here, 1990s, right? Where the refugees started coming over here since the 1990s, right? After the Civil War. So with the Somali people, they are predominantly Muslim in Somalia. You got the Somali flag on top of school buildings and other things. You got mayor that with the white mayor Jacob or whatever, the guy speaking Somali. I never seen nothing like this before in my life. It's amazing. But see, this is who their constituents are. They built them up. They never had to assimilate into the American culture. Your early Italians, your early Polish, your early Russians and so forth, they all wanted to become American citizens. They assimilated. And you know what to make their transition easier? Because a lot of them are rooted in Christianity, Roman, or the Catholics, so forth. They still assimilated into America. It works hand in hand with each other. Islam does not. Islam does not work very well at all. Let me go and read your other comments here. Wendy says, the folks got to go. Luke Skywalker says, yep, because they not working for everyone. They're just working for funneling for their race of people. Yeah, funneling money, scamming people. You're absolutely right. Luke Skywalker, you're absolutely right. Oops, hold on for a minute. I'll put this one up over here. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what they've been doing. Wendy says, I stay vigilant on, okay, right. Okay, stay vigilant and strapped with a great selection of to choose from. I know that's right. Wendy said, hell no, I ain't gonna never be a victim again. I know that's right. This is what Wendy is saying, y'all.
Oh, hell no!
I'm gonna have to create that new sound bite for you, Wendy, just for that one. I know that's right. Wendy says, I stay vigilant on and strapped with a great selection. I read that. Okay. I know that's right. Wendy says, say, I was literally 17 and homeless by myself. Learned real damn quick. I know that's right, though. Yeah, Wendy, you had a rough life, but look at you now. You persevered, saying that you will never be a victim ever again. And I'm just sorry that this have happened to you, because no woman should be violated. No man or no one should be forcing themselves on you. If it's unwanted, that don't give them a right to do it. But they did that to that 14-year-old girl over there in the UK somewhere, Yep. And they've been doing this. She ain't the only one that's been raped. And then when they tried to do something about it, what did they end up doing, though? They let him go, and then want to prosecute the people that are the victims. What kind of justice is that? They're 35% over there in London and Birmingham. This is what's going on over there, though. And it's lucky that we're stopping it here. We do not jail well. We need to go. We need to get them up. We're going to, what is it Trump is going to do? He's going to denaturalize their citizenships, round them up, and send them back to Somalia. The same thing when they come over here in Dearborn. Anybody over here that is not legal, you have to go. And this is how it is, right? This is what has to happen, and this is going to be the thing. I think you got another group of refugees and stuff that are over there in Columbus, Ohio. You guys read about that too? Yeah, Wendy says it's time for us all to have a backbone on handling our business once and for all. Yeah, you're right. I keep mine locked and loaded. Wendy says, period. Enough is enough. Fuck around and find out time. I know that's right. Because this is what these people are not understanding, Wendy. They're over here. Your little 55% in Dearborn don't mean nothing to the majority of the people of this country. And really be honest, though, people are sick of Muslims that are behaving this way, because you know what it does? It makes the Muslims that's not about this life, it looks bad for you guys. You guys need to have a conversation with the people that are anti-American. You don't need to be in this country. You need to get the fuck out, right? Because you're going to fuck around and find out, and it's going to probably be too late. The body they may bury may be one of your own. I'm just going to put it out there like that, because we're not fucking around at all. You can't be, we can't, if you don't want to come over here and live in peace, we've been very, very good. Allow you to have mosque and all kind of stuff. And you just kind of getting way beside yourself. I mean, just being outright disrespectful, So if you got that type of sentiment against Christians, you don't need to be here. This is a Judeo-Christian society, And doesn't it feel good to say Merry Christmas without the Xmas stuff? I never liked Xmas. Taking Jesus out of Christmas. Don't that feel good, That's the thing about it, though. Shit. Christians ain't never had to worry about being kicked out of a country for terrorism and all this other stuff. Oh, go over here. Just want to, we don't have a history. They have a bad, a nasty reputation of doing these type of things. They really do. Wendy says we all have to unite and make America safe for our families. You're right about that. Much love back to you as well too, Wendy. Yeah, I know if you guys got the hearts going on, I appreciate it. I can't even see it on this particular format. But that's cool though. Wendy says, I know I was born for a time such as this. I'm not fearful anymore. They better take my they better take my tail out if you're going to be okay. You better take my tail out, right? If you're not fighting to the end, 100%. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right though, because that's what it's going to take, and we have to have this type of thing though. We really do. An eye for an eye, and things like this. You want to go ahead and do this kind of stuff, because we're not going to tolerate it. He still says, "Be ready." Yeah, I know that's right, though. You got that right. Wendy says, I never go looking for trouble, but I'm not ever gonna back down, though, right? Estelle said, who let the pigs out? Okay, who? Song, who let the pigs out? Ooh, who? Yeah, I know, right? You got to change it up a little bit. Wendy says, we need our strong men and women to stand up. Yeah, I know that's right. We need to start standing up, because I'm showing the clip. You guys are seeing what's going on here, and what's happening. This is exactly what is happening right now. For like I said before, this guy here, this white guy here, he's upset. He's a Christian. White men, black, we all are being attacked on this type of thing, though, we all being attacked. This ain't about, we all Americans. Ain't no white American, ain't no black American, and all the rest of this. We are all Americans. We are all Americans. That is for sure, And right now, we all have to come together, just like these ladies and others are saying. We all have to come together, because when we come together, we are strong. They're trying to divide us. I think that Trump is doing a hell of a job for what he has to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because getting them out of this country, and the reason, and let's just go there real quick. Why not? In my opinion, while we haven't seen the arrests right now from these crooked as fuck ass people right now, you know what I'm saying? Because we have to think about it. Trump does not have the MAGA judges in place. what has he got? 80 some of them that still haven't been sworn in and so forth. We have a lot of corruption. They're trying to hold Trump off to the midterms. I'm telling you guys right now, and I'm always saying it, once I'm going to be talking about stuff like this all the way up until the midterm, we have to go hard in the paint. We showed up last year for the voting for the presidency. We have to go as hard on the midterms because the Democrats are not letting up. Now, Trump has been doing a great job by getting the voter rolls cleaned up, right? Now, the people where we have resistance, right, are Illinois, New York, Colorado, California, and I believe Arizona. Those are like the major ones right now, right? Because they don't want to reveal or show that, because we already know their books are not, they've been cooking the books the whole time, cheating, the redistricting, and all the rest of this type of stuff. I'm glad that Prop 50 failed in California because Gavin Knucklehead Newsom was trying to redistrict again to try to box the Republicans out. And it's not going to work, right? All of that is gerrymandering type of stuff. We got to go hard in the paint because this is a fight for the Republic. Remember the Republic, right? The constitutional republic. We're coming away from the Democratic Republic. We're going to a constitutional republic. And this is what the country was always set up on. Never forget it. We are not citizens. We are the people. Citizen means slave, right? We the people. We the people of the United States of America. We are to the republic of which it stand, right? One nation under God, right? Remember that? Y'all remember that? This is what it is. You know, we ain't gonna let no interlopers come into our zone in our country and dictate to us when they can't even run their own damn country. Their own country is in turmoil, wars going on and everything like that. You know, if it wasn't for the Abraham Accords, they still would have war going on amongst them. Once again, they had to take a president with the right stuff to stop all this darn fighting over there in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? But we want them to be better in their country than over here. Don't y'all want to go back to your country? Don't you want to build up over there in Saudi Arabia and Yemen and all that? Because your country needs you, man. You know, it needs you. Because as far as I'm concerned, Palestinians, if you're over here, you should be over there learning how to live amongst the Jews, because Hamas is running havoc over there. They really are. Yeah, we got to take up arms and fight. Hamas. They're the ones that's over there killing their own people. They ain't just Jews right now. It's the Hamas that's doing that. Let me read what else y'all saying here. Hold on for a minute. I don't want to get too far ahead. Let me see here. Right there, Wendy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Wendy says it's now or never. Wendy says they are brave men standing up with courage for everyone of us, right? He needs all our support. She's talking about Trump, and we are stronger in numbers. She's right. Facts. It's the truth. Excel says Churchill said, be careful. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what else Churchill said since you brought that up. Let me go ahead because, I always love fan of history, though, too, since we're talking about it here. I'm trying to think of what was that thing that Churchill said? Yeah, I got it right here. Okay. In fact, I'm going to post it up in the room here, too. So therefore, everybody will be able to see it and things. So here it is right here. So this is what Churchill says. He says, fascists of the future will call themselves anti-fascists, a quote from Churchill. Churchill said that, right? Because that's what reminded me when I heard you talk about Churchill, Mm-hmm. Wendy says, we are all combined, right? America, we the people, right? You're absolutely correct, though, Wendy. You're absolutely correct. And this is the reason why we have to fight for the republic of this country, because this is the last frontier. And we already know for what the low-down demo KKK rats were trying to do, because these are their constituents that they're trying to protect, right? They're protecting these people. These are interlopers that have come into our country, right? That's saying, skip being a Christian. I am Muslim, right? I want to have Sharia law. I want to change things around because we want to conquer America within and turn America into an Islamic country. You know, next thing they'll be doing is flying the flag of their country like they already are doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no flag flown but the American flag. We will not be overran by these interlopers. We are not going to do it. They are the ones, right? They are the infidels. They are the ones that refuse to, to assimilate into American society. It's them. They are the ones, right? They are the ones that have done this stuff. They drew first blood first. You know, this is exactly what they did. So yeah, we're not going to go for it. And I appreciate y'all for showing up in the room this morning though too, because I said I went on a different format right now, because I know the vertical thing is really what's hot right now, right? It's more conducive for you to have your cell phones though. How my voice sounding right now? Am I coming in like fire right now? Yeah, so I've been tweaking behind the scenes on that though. You know, I'm just really using StreamYard today, but I got another format or another thing that I really use. But yeah, I've been at this for a little while now though. And if you guys have subscribed though, because with my on the other format, I'm able to see when y'all throw the hearts and all the rest of that stuff, the likes and stuff. I'm able to see it and things like that. But that's what I look like there. It's just my side profile and things like that. But yeah, I took that photo when I was in Arizona. Was that last year? No, was that last year or 2000? I think that was in 2021. Yeah, so yeah, I took that profile photo and things. So yeah. So yeah, though, but other than that, though, yeah, this is exactly what it is, man. I appreciate you guys for coming in to the chat. I want to give a shout out, though. You got Howard in the house. We got Wendy in the house. What else? We got Estelle in the house. Yeah, there you go. Who else do we have in the house though, man? Start using my horn again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss anybody. Who else came into this room tonight before I shut it down? Oh yeah, we got Luke Skywalker, not the man, not a myth. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Yeah, Luke Skywalker. And then I already said Howard, right? Yeah. Estelle, yeah, we got Estelle. Did I say Estelle? We had Wendy, but Estelle. Here we go. Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you though very much. Yeah, though I appreciate you guys though. So yeah, that's basically what it is though, you know. So yeah, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on and shut it down though and things, but I appreciate you guys for showing up over here. I think I played some of the video over here with this guy here and things, so because he was upset about what has been going on over here in Dearborn, you know, and like I said, now for the good Muslims, you know, yeah, I mean we appreciate you guys being good, but we just want to let you know that, and you know, we don't want to be taken advantage of, and we can't allow you to take over America and call it an Islamic country, though. It's not going to happen. You know, we're allowing you to be over here as long as you follow the land of the law. You are not in the Middle East. You are here in America, and you're finding out that just because you have naturalized citizenship doesn't mean that it cannot be taken from you. You know what I'm saying? So America, right, and people in government grant you the what we call the naturalized citizenship, but it can be taken. It can be taken from you though too. So I don't want you to be mindful of that being over here in our country and things like that. We're not trying to come over to the Middle East and tell you that you can't be a Muslim in the Middle East. That's just outright silly. Christians are being persecuted in the Middle East. Christians are being persecuted over there in Africa. Christians are being persecuted over there in the UK and being persecuted over there in Asia. So don't talk to us about people in Islam. The ones that we're seeing that's persecuting are the people that are Muslim that is doing this. They're the ones that are doing this stuff. They're the ones that are what we call the interlopers and so forth. It's them, right? Wendy says most of these outsiders are planning to take us. I'm sorry for a minute. It jumped. Hold on for a minute. Let me say it again. Most of these, the print is a little small for me, so it look like if I'm having a little bit of trouble, but it's all good. This is what Wendy's saying. Most of these outsiders are planning to take us out. We can't allow ourselves to be blindsided. All bullshit aside, it's time to get serious and come up with a plan to protect us Americans, right? I know that's right, though. You're absolutely right. Let me see here. FT. I think that's what the fuck over. I think that's what that is. Yeah. What the fuck over. Fascism using the military to suppress opponents, the state creating lawsuits and suppress free speech and free press. Yeah, that's what fascism does. Facts. That's what fascism does. Because over there in the UK, the European nations over there, look at Germany. Germany having a rough time. UK is having a rough time. France is having a rough time. Ireland is having a rough time. Those countries over there in Europe, these Scandinavian countries and stuff like that, they don't have freedom of speech over there. See, the one thing about it, though, ladies and gentlemen, we have what we call a Constitution over here in the United States. But over there, they just get privileges. They don't have rights. See, in America, we have rights. They have privileges. This is what makes America so great. God's love, he smiles down on America, right? That's why I said, do you know how lucky you guys are to be an American right now? Being born as American, we have always that I know we always have freedom of speech. Sometimes we take it for granted though, but we do have a thing called freedom of speech, right? Freedom of religion and freedom of the press. You're absolutely correct though. What the fuck over, you know what I'm saying? Estelle says, thank you for your show. You're awesome. I appreciate you as well too, Estelle. Thank you so much. Wendy says, we all want to be respected 100. All right. This is our home. If they don't want to pay us respect, okay, they need to go ASAP. Yeah, I know that's right though, Wendy. We want their asses up on out of here though, because if you can't respect America and you can't respect the people in America, you're not going to have Sharia law. You're not going to have the Ezan blaring at 5 a.m. in the morning, whatever hours of the day. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You have to respect America and the law of the land and its people. All this terrorism stuff and blowing up ish, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen though, because you're going to mess around here where if it's starting to happen more frequently, you're going to do like you did to Somalis. You know what I'm saying? Because too much of a population in one particular area, even in Japan, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I can show it to you right now. Hold on for a minute. I got a little bit more time here. Japan. Let me see here. Against Japan. Oops. Against Islam. Let me see. It's something like that. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Over here in Japan, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, right now.
Tensions are rising once again, not in Europe, not in America, but this time in Japan. One that crosses borders, cultures, and politics.
Look at that.
Western countries and Japan offer what their homelands often cannot: quality education, accessible healthcare, and strong economies. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs reported that by the year 2025, global migration has reached nearly 281 million.
One moment.
While the West drowned in its own diversity, Japan watched and remembered who it was. Not with panic, not with shame, but with the cold, ancient clarity of a country that knows what it's willing to die for. In a world that celebrates mass immigration, Japan says no. Not because it's racist, but because it refuses to become something else just to survive. Its population is collapsing, its economy is aging, and every global expert insists open the gates or fade into history. But Japan would rather fade as Japan than survive as something unrecognizable. That's not xenophobia, that's identity. And when the rest of the world opens its arms to problems it can't control, Japan tightens its grip on the katana. Because this is a nation that believes some things are worth more than growth: cohesion, culture, order, honor. And as the global tide of migration swells, Japan makes its stand, not with slogans, but with silence and steel.
Here. Damn. Ah, boy. All right. Yeah, hold on for a minute.
Tensions are rising once again, not in Europe, not in America, but this time in Japan. One that crosses borders, cultures, and politics. Western countries and Japan offer what their homelands often cannot: quality education, accessible healthcare, and strong economies. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs reported that by the year 2025, global migration has reached nearly 281 million people, with about...
The fascists is the leftists, the demo KKK rats. Those are the fascists. Those are the ones that hate freedom of speech, freedom of religion, you know, when it come down to that, as well as freedom of the press. I mean, look at what they're doing to Nick, you know, the young journalist that went over there to Minnesota and things like that and did that journalist. He did an excellent piece on what the Somalis were doing over there illegally, right? And he's being criticized by CNN. They won't refuse to publish and print what's going on because they're part of the wicked system over there. Shirley, thank you so much. Nick Shirley, thank you so much, Wendy. Yeah, Nick Shirley, right? So this guy's in his early 20s though, and recorded what was going on though. Got the attention nationwide. Everybody know the story, but Daisy said, "Who is a fascist?" So that's like we said before, the fascist is coming from the left, right? And we already seen with their failed left-leaning democratic policies and stuff. I always say, when you look at the black community, for instance, this is a prime example, right? We went from our ancestors having neighborhoods and things like that, farming and other things, and with the left-leaning policies that have destroyed these black communities. When you look at them, Rosewood, right, Black Bottom, Asheville, North Carolina, as well as Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? These were prominent areas, though, of the blacks back then after the turn of the century and so forth like that, where a lot of those neighborhoods were just destroyed and stuff. It wasn't segregation that destroyed it. It was integration that destroyed it, right? They destroyed it because we already know what it is, though. Segregation, when you look at it, there was black bus lines in the South and Alabama. There was like 101 to be exact, Mobile, Alabama, and all the rest of them. Those black buses that were owned by blacks are non-existent today. And there's a lot of other things that went on as well, too. You got redlining as well, too. Redlining is still a practice. This was created by the left as well, too. A lot of these left-leaning policies and things like that have destroyed our communities and things. Crime went up to wazoo, and now that they have control of the privatization of the prison systems and stuff like that. So look at what they did. So you have occupancy, gangster rap was created just for that reason, right? So drugs, gangster rap, privatization of the prison systems, breaking up of the black family unit, which is the birth of the single mama thing. We didn't have all that stuff before 1965. That was introduced, which was a bill called the Welfare Act of 65, right? All that came afterwards. It left a destruction and a devastation throughout the black community. And this is the reason why, where accountability, responsibility is swept under the rug. You have onslaughts of crime, violence, drugs, prostitution, gang activity, right? That still exists in these black communities. This is one of the reasons why Trump had to bring in the National Guards to clean up these cities and stuff, because the Democrats refuse to do their job. So, and to clean this up, this is why I say, this stuff was a long, ongoing problem, an issue, right? The Trojan horse, right? This is where the problem is, right? Since we're talking about it, so I had to bring that up. We're going to bring up this video here again, too, because what Japan...
29% identified as Muslims, according to the Pew Research Center.
Japan.
This represents more than 80 million individuals living outside their country of birth in search of better opportunities and security.
Put this on.
However...
They got a community in Japan where these Muslims, and I was mentioning this to some people in Japan that's from Japan. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. They didn't already did it, but they see what's going on in America, though, too. Because when you have mass immigration like this, it's going to destroy the fabric and identity of your country, right? It just will, because, again, Islam does not... It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't assimilate very well, even in Japanese culture. It doesn't. They want to do the same, because you bring them into, I never heard of somebody, it's like somebody bringing somebody, inviting somebody in your home. And what they want to do is they want to take your decorations down in your home. They want to put up their flag. They want to put the praying mats out, the ezan and the music. Next thing you know, you come back up in there, you hearing this Arabic music that you can't understand. This is exactly what they're doing. And it goes beyond that. I mean, I'm just making light of it, but in a sense, this is exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on, right? Let me see here. Wendy says, no problem. Wendy says, sometimes when we want something done right, we need to do it, right, ourselves, and hold them accountable, right? Like Nick Shirley doing, right? Exactly. And that's what we need to do. We need more Nick Shirleys out there. You guys don't need no fancy camera. You can use your cell phone. You know what's going on in your community with these interlopers that have come over here in this country, right? Estelle says greedy. What they want to do is control. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right, though, about that. This is exactly what they want to do. Yep, it's exactly what it is. Wendy says, I'm a widow and raised 3 children on my own. On my baby, right? Okay, 3 children. Okay, on my baby. Okay, just turned 18 and 20. They turned out they turned out, like I said, too great or great. Yeah, they turned out great. I'm going to fix that for you. All right. Turned out great. All esteem, right? Hallelujah. Okay. I know that's right. That is what's up right there. Where's my applause at? Yeah, you're a widow too. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sorry that it's the circle of life though with death though, but but you doing your thing though, that's for sure. You're doing your thing though. You got Like you said here, just reading, you got two children here, and yeah, there you go, 18 and 20. Boy, that's what's up. That's about right too. Yeah, that's about right. That's cool. That is cool. And I thank everybody for coming in this chat or this room tonight, talking about a common threat with us all, though, no matter if you're black, white, or whatever, we all are facing a threat in this country, and it's the Islamification of America, right? And Sharia law and how they want to conquer. This is not friendly, we just over here. It's about divide and conquer, right? That's what it's about. Divide and conquer. And we just can't. See what I'm showing you some stuff over here in Japan right now, right? This is what's going on without the music.
After settling in these new societies, some Muslim immigrants begin requesting the preservation of specific religious customs in public life, halal food in schools, prayer breaks during work hours, or exceptions to local dress codes. While these requests may appear reasonable from their perspective, they often trigger unease among local residents. Stay right here, because we're uncovering the untold truth behind Japan's growing backlash against Muslim immigrants. Many argue that if
I just want to say one thing, though, too. For Muslim people, you want all these accommodations, right? Wouldn't it be easier to have all these accommodations in your country? Because I'm telling you right now, mass immigration like this will never work, because it's already bringing up, it's bringing up negative sentiments, right? And it's going to escalate and get worse. Wherever they go, the real threat right now is looking to be Islam. This is a threat now. It's on the horizon, because when you have other people have let you into their country, you have all these provisions. Next thing is Sharia law. When you start developing more of a population, going raping these women and all the rest of the stuff, disrespect of married couples and all the rest of the stuff. You need to be in your country. I'm all about deportation. I would rather see them in their own country. Your country needs you. Build your country up. You got Hamas and ISIS and Hezbollah and all these other groups. You should be fighting them. Get your country back. Don't expect to turn Japan into the Middle East. It don't make any sense. Don't expect to turn America into the Middle East. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to stay in America, you got to do what the Americans do. If you don't, then you just got to go back to the Middle East. Just as how it is. And I'm not going to say sorry. You need to be over there. Build your country up over there. They need you. All these provisions and all this stuff. It just would be easier to be in the Middle East. When you agree, just be easy. You can pray out there, pray on the street, prayer rug and all that. You can do all that there. You can do your salat 5 days, you can do all that. You got accommodations for it, right? You have the accommodations in your own country. That makes sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Wendy says, okay, I got that one. Okay, yes, I'm stronger these days is what Wendy says. Okay, yes, I am stronger these days is what Wendy says. Estelle, okay, Estelle, okay, yeah. Hold on for a minute. Estelle says, pray and be aware. You're right. You're right about that. We have to be aware, though, because these are not times to be going up in concerts and everything, because we have these terrorists, sleeper cells. They're still here in this country. We got the Iranians, too. We got other enemies that all want to vow to bring the Muslim Brotherhood. They want to bring people in this country down, right? Send them back, period, is what Wendy said. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. They need to go back to their country, because, again, it's not conducive to the Constitution. Islam's not conducive to the laws of the land here in America. It just isn't. We have freedoms over here, something that a lot of these Muslims from these Middle Eastern countries and African countries, they know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? They know nothing about the Constitution. They know nothing about this type of stuff. I mean, they're just as ignorant on the Constitution. They know nothing about our system of government, which is fine because we don't want them in our government. Now, we need to start voting and changing laws, y'all. We don't want no naturalized citizen coming in here and being a part of our political system, because this is about how you take over. This is how you divide and conquer. You conquer from within, though. You know, all these people that are here, far as I'm concerned, though, you shouldn't be here. The only people that should be here, when you over here standing up and saying that I'm an American and so forth, because of these other religions, though, we don't. I mean, for the most part of it, we don't really have a whole lot of issue right now. We have a bigger issue with people that are Muslim right now. That is the bigger threat right now. Obviously, we just got to keep it real, right? This is the real threat right now. And it's just not conducive. You know, they do not assimilate into our culture at all. They just don't. Estelle says, agree, 100%. Wendy says, and the sad thing, let me see, a sad thing is this: they never care to try and learn about our ways. No, they don't. They don't want to learn about our ways. They don't want to. They want. It's about conquering, taking over. They don't want to learn about our ways. Estelle says AOC wants to be the real next president. Yeah, she would never be the next president though, and things like that with AOC. You don't even hear from her a whole lot since Trump been making moves. More so, Trump is, and his legacy is going to be the one that have broken the DNC. He's the one that have broken the Democratic Party with these liberals. They don't have nothing against Trump. I mean, they don't have no defense against Trump. You ain't hearing from Bernie Sanders, Chucky Schumer. You ain't hearing from none of them. Let me see here. Jim Bolina says Muslims have been in the U.S. since the 16th century and earlier. Yeah, I know the history of it though, but let's keep it real though. This is not about them. This is about their religion does not, like I said before, it's not conducive, right? It doesn't they don't assimilate into American fabric of being American because of the Judeo-Christian thing that America has been founded upon. You got to understand this. Their mission is to conquer, not to live in peace with Christians. The religion of it all said kill the infidels. If he's not with a believer, you know, it said so. This is what it is. You think that if that was so true that they want to live in peace and all that, we wouldn't even have the problems that we having now, though, keeping it 100. It's not about them assimilating into America. It's about conquering. It's either them or nothing, right? And I'm just saying they need to be back over there in their country, right? That's what we're saying. Wendy says they want us to live like them. But that's never going to happen. No, it's not. We're not going to allow it. Not going to happen, son. Yeah, that's what Wendy said. Yeah, Jim Bolina says, you said they're not assimilating. They're help make the USA. What did they help make? Jim, what did the Muslims help make in America? I'm just curious. What did they help make? What did they help make? Wendy says they want to take us out. Yeah, definitely, they really do. Because their history. It's in violence and bloodshed. Their history, right? They don't live amongst infidel. Anybody that's a non-Muslim and consider them an infidel. Is that right? Is that true or not? Yeah, Jim Molini says what their country, especially the ones that I'm gonna say that that have been in the U.S. for generations. Jim Bolini says, "What do you mean they help make America?" That's what you said. I'm reading what you said. You were saying, what do they mean they help make America? You said that. You said they help make America. If I read that correctly. Because they didn't. I mean, I'm saying, what did they help make? What did they do is what I was asking. What did they do to help make America? Because all the ingenuity and all the inventions came out of America, and we were just doing just fine, getting along, because Christians from any nation in the world that come into America assimilate very well, right? They assimilate very well. We haven't had any problems with other Christians like this. We have not. He says, anyone to do to help make America. Well, right now, America is a great country, always have. God shared and smiled on America. You know how he did it? It's a thing called the Constitution. It's a Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, right? We have all this stuff, right? Because what this allows, right? It allows people like us the freedoms to be able to have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of the press. Something that a lot of other countries do not have. They have privileges. We have rights, right? We have 3 levels of government. Legislative, executive, and judicial. We have 3 levels of government. So therefore, we don't have like a person that can sit up in there as a tyrant. Things have to get through Congress. It's not that easy for even our executive branch to just say, "I want to go out here and do this and that." It has to go run through Congress and things like that. We have the better system in America than any place in the world. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But with the Muslims, they have a whole different agenda. It really does. Jim Bolina says, let me see here. I'm just trying to keep up here a little bit. Okay. What anyone do to help America? Jim Bolina says, what the fuck are you talking about? They have been there nearly the same amount of time as the Christians. Oh, yeah, I see that English is not your first language, though, man. I'm seeing typos left and right. I'm trying to, so let me ask you this question here, man, because, you're missing the point. And maybe you could be a troll or something. And, are you from America? And let's ask that question. Are you an American? Yes or no? Are you an American? And I see a bunch of typos and stuff. Yeah, nobody says that's kind of weird with some of that stuff. What with a D at the end with a hyphen? That's not proper English, sir. We don't sentence structure. We don't do that. That's not right. That's what I mean by your typos, Are you an American? Because if you're not an American and don't live in America, this don't even pertain to you. Worry about your own country. No, I'm not American. Oh, I rest my case. So, Jimbo, don't be telling us what we need to be doing, man. Nobody give a damn about you. In fact, we only dealing with people that's here in America and things like that. You don't have no say so whatsoever. You don't live in America. Thank God we don't have people like that. We have a thing called a Constitution, and probably where the hell you are right now, sir, you don't even have a thing called a Constitution. You probably under some type of monarchy government system that give you a bunch of privileges right over here. We have a thing called the Second Amendment, right? as well, though. We have the land of the free and the home of the brave. Don't you forget it. We got the the greatest military might on the planet, right? So God smiled on America, and then smile on your country. You probably in some old small European nation somewhere, or maybe somewhere in India somewhere, as far as I'm concerned. Because I can see the typos in your language already. I love getting these non-American. I knew he wasn't American at all, because nobody in America talk like that. Improper English. Then we halfway don't even understand. Talking about you're a man. You're not even worth the you're not even worth. See, that's what they do though. They send the trolls from these bots. He might be a bot, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put his ass in timeout. That's what I'm gonna do. Anybody got to deal with that? There we go. How about that? How you like them now? How you like them apples? Huh? All right. So let me go ahead and get caught up here a little bit. Yeah. I had the best of trolls that try to come in here. He ain't even no troll. He's just some old non-American dude from one of these old countries or whatever. They ain't worth even talking about. Let me see here. What else is going on here? Sir farts a lot. Build the country. You smoking crack. Let me see here. This is what he's saying. But you know what I'm going to do for you, sir? Hold on for a minute. I got something even better, though, too. See, they don't really come in here and want to have the real conversation or whatever, because they know I'm getting in their ass. So let me ask you this, sir, Fart a lot. What country are you from? What country are you from, sir? That's what I want to ask him before I shut this down. Then we got to go into the IQ. See, what's that they try to do to try to insult you? You're not even doing a great job of it, man. I troll better than you. You just coming up over here, just want to try to be disruptive and stuff. I love playing with these guys. So I'm going to play with them for a minute. Don't you worry, y'all. I'm going to play with him for a minute. Cause he ain't talking about nothing either, though. He ain't talking about nothing. Right? Oh, hell no! Let me see what he has to say here real quick. He ain't talking about nothing. Wendy says they have worn out their welcome, so now it's time for them to go. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. And we're going to get them ass. We're getting their ass up on out of here. It's already happening. Now to the big, beautiful bill, 2026, 10,000 ICE agents is going to be hitting the streets and stuff, flood the zones, get them up on out of here. And with Trump and the administration is doing a wonderful job, and they can't stop it. And that's what they're upset about, doing an excellent job. Wendy says, we Americans are sick and tired of being robbed by the foreigners. Yeah, the robbery, Trump put a ban stop on all money is frozen. These states ain't getting nothing. These blue states, they're already resting in the grave right now, though, because it ain't happening. Estelle says respect. Estelle says agree. Estelle says we need to respect you and your show. Yeah, I appreciate it though, Estelle. I appreciate you guys. This is what I'm going to do, because I definitely need to let me see here. Let me do this here. I got an idea for you guys. Hold on for a minute. Let's see, I got to make some more moderators. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. I appreciate having you guys on, though, too. You know how I do. Hold on for one moment, you guys. I got to make a few more moderators in here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. Hold on for a minute. Channel still ain't coming up. Hold on for one moment, guys. Restroom break. Hold on for a minute. We got to make some people some moderators. Hold on for a minute. All right, let me see here. I think I was trying to make somebody a moderator, wasn't it? All right, hold on for one moment. Yep, and I appreciate you guys coming in the room today, or I should say this morning, right? Right, let's see here. Let me see here. I gotta pull it up on here. Hold on for a minute. All right, and therefore, because I'm going to pull it up here. Just give me one moment. Yeah, I appreciate having y'all on the in the chat too, though. Yep, you guys have been great, though. You guys have been real great having you guys on the chat and everything, and just trying to pull up where's my stuff at here? All right, so let me see here, because live should come up. They just been shadow banning my stuff though too, so yeah, I used to come up though, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really come up anymore like that though, but that's good if I came up on some of you guys' feeds. So for some reason, I'm having a little trouble trying to find mine though. But yeah, that's the thing about it though, because I know, right? Because I'm trying to get some of you guys on here as being being my moderators, But trying to see here. Hold on for a minute. Why is it not? I can't find my own stuff. Yeah, I can't find my own stuff. It's not showing up. Did I come across you guys' feed on your timeline or whatever when I went live? Because I'm trying to find my channel and I'm not able to find it. I recognize your voice. Oh, okay, Wendy, that's cool. Yeah, everybody loved my voice though too when it was an announcer voices. Yep, got the deep baritone going on though. That's for sure. Yeah, But I'm gonna figure this thing out because I want to get some moderator things in here too. But I'm having trouble trying to pull up my own thing to make that happen. And things. So 6, 7. Let me see here. Wendy says we Americans are sick and tired of being robbed by foreigners. Respect. Estelle says agree. Estelle says we need to respect you and your channel. Appreciate that. Yes. LOL. Right. And then Wendy says, to my first time seeing your page. Yeah, because Wendy, I never seen you before, but welcome to the chat. Wendy says, but I recognize your voice. Yes. Ditto too. Okay, Wendy, yeah, recognize my voice. Yeah, I appreciate it though too, and things. So I have done some shorts and other things, and basically, trying to build up and things like that, getting the information out. I do have my other mods, but they're on different times. But I have my morning show, afternoon show, or actually morning show, evening show. And because of the holidays and all the rest of that stuff, but I'm going to get back on my time slot, though. I'm on Rumble, too. So the Rumble thing, you saw the gold digger thing? Yeah, I did that gold digger thing, though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do some of that type of stuff, too, though, Yeah, the gold digger thing was fun, though, I remember doing that. Yeah, the gold digger thing and stuff. I like watching the videos. I think a lot of the gold digger videos are phony, but I just watch it just for entertainment things. So, but a lot of them are not really real, though. What's his name? London Way. And like I said, I follow him and stuff like that. It's just, like watching TV though. But some of the same girls that was on his thing, they're on my man's, what's his name, Nair and all the rest of them. Yeah, they're on the same women, the same old ladies. They're on those other guys' channels and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all finding me and things like that. It's good to be recognized. Ditto too. It says still says ditto. Me too, Wendy. Yeah. And Wendy says, you sound like that one guy that calls out them gold diggers, you know. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think oh yeah, you probably talking about London Way. He's kind of a heavy set guy. Well, he lost a lot of weight actually. He got the beard and stuff going on. You talking about him? Yeah, because he got the beard and everything. London Way, got the hot cars and all that stuff. She's like, oh snap, I was correct. Wow. Yeah. You talking about London Way? That dude. Yeah, I like London Way stuff. No, she says no. They no, the tall one. Oh, you talking about Nair, the one with the dreadlocks? He had the long dreads or the long locks. Shouldn't call him dreadlocks. He had the one that had the long locks. You talking about him? Wendy says, with the McDonald's, you know. Oh yeah, you talking about Damon Cryer. He's from Detroit. You talking about Damon Cryer? Yeah, I think he's from Detroit, but yeah, Damon Cryer. He has that same voice. He's be like saying, "Yeah, are you against a hardworking man?" I actually don't work at McDonald's, but I own McDonald's. I actually own 3 McDonald's. Yeah, you talking about Damon Cryer? Yeah, I like Damon Cryer though. I rock with him. Yeah, I rock. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, Damon Cryer. Yeah, he's really funny. Yeah, he always say, so yeah, Tamika. She's like, that ain't my name, you know? And he'd be like, yeah, Tamika, yeah, we can yeah, so you say your name is Tamika? Oh man, that's funny. She's like, Wendy says, exactly. The voice is spot on. Yeah. So what do you have against a hardworking man? Yeah. Damon Cryer. Yeah. 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 You got that deep voice going on too, you know? Yep. Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, but I appreciate y'all coming on tonight. Yeah, it's been good, you know. Yeah, Wendy says exactly. Yeah, well, I hope y'all ladies don't be no strangers though, you know, and things. All is welcome, and things. But yeah, Damon Cryer, that's who you talking about. Yeah, he got the nice little whip. He said, yeah, why don't you hop into the whip? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to see you get hit. And that's funny though. Yeah, I could have done those videos, man. Oh man. Yeah, Damon Cryer, man. Yep. That's who you talking about. Damon Cryer. Yep. Yeah, I watched a lot of his stuff too. It'd just be funny. Yeah, Wendy says, good vibes for sure, you know. Oh yeah, same here. Good vibes though, you know, definitely. Yep. I'm gonna have to do that song by hey, I'm from Detroit. But I like y'all food up there too, boy, down there in Louisiana though. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, boy. In the bayou, you know. Down there, boy. Estelle says, thank you for your show. I need to sleep. Yeah, I'm about to shut it down too, ladies. I appreciate y'all coming on here. And I'm gonna, you know, I normally post around 3:30 or 4:30 p.m. you know, for the evening show. But hopefully I can see y'all ladies around and things. Don't be no stranger. If I can't see the love and if you sub me, I appreciate it. I can see them on my other format. But yeah, definitely for sure though. But editing Okay, eating a steak now. Oh yeah, but I love y'all food over there, boy. That Louisiana, that crawfish, that jambalaya, that dirty rice. It all starts with the Trinity and the roux. So you gotta have a good roux, you know. You gotta put the three. Do you know what the Trinity is? Onions, right? Green peppers and carrots, boy. That is the foundation of Louisiana style cooking, boy. Dirty rice. Yep, crawfish, crawdads. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so y'all have a good one. I'm gonna go and shut this down as well. I appreciate you guys for coming on here. I'm glad to see that we have a lot of patriots in the room though too, today or this morning. And I'm gonna come on later on in the evening and do another live and things. So I do different stuff. It's not always centered around this, but yeah, we do have to stay together, stick together. Once again, we are all in the same. We are all Americans. Don't let race divide us like the Democrats try to. We must stay strong, and MAGA must unite. We are MAGA strong. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. In fact, though, ladies, I'm gonna do. If y'all come around 4:30 or so, or 3:30 or 4:30. When I go live today, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do the piece on Nicki Minaj. She's under major attack right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Though Willie D talking crap, so yeah. So therefore, I'm gonna go ahead and do a live on that about Nicki Minaj. So shout out to Nicki. Can't come for the queen though. I ain't gonna let him come for the queen now. Right? I'm not going to let them divide us and come for the queen. Okay, and let me see what y'all have to say before I go. Are you eating a steak now? Okay, I see that there. Still gives the thumbs up and everything. Yep, you got an English name though. I dated Stale too. A person named Stale when I was over there in Canada and things. Wendy says, "Oh, you do." Yeah, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one with Nikki. Yeah, and that's my show and things. Wendy says, I could never be divided. That's what's up, though. We're not gonna allow us to be divided at all. We one big family in here and things. I'm gonna put the link down next time to you. More welcome to come up on the show. Let your voice, because I love what you guys are saying. So the next time I'm gonna put that link up, and you go and hit that link and come up here and put you up on the show. I definitely will. Yeah. So other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Thank you guys for following Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, straight out of Detroit, Michigan, keeping it real. The next one I'm gonna do is gonna be on Nicki Minaj and stuff like that. How she's being attacked. How they going after our queen right now. They ain't gonna happen on my watch. I appreciate y'all though. I really do. I'll see y'all later on or whatever, and that'll be cool. And we're gonna have another great show. Thank you guys for showing up. Y'all showed out. And let me do my shout out thing again. Oh yeah, I got something for the ladies. This is what it is. Because the fellas got the horns, and for your ladies, y'all got this. You know what I'm saying? So I do it for the ladies, so gentlemen, Other than that, you guys, peace. Take care of yourselves. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next podcast show. Much love to you. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out. Thank y'all.